This is very early. This is all speculation. For the most part, things are going to wind up in the A category just because things feel very balanced going into Season 2. The first thing I can start off with is I think Hercules and Osiris. Also, there comes the sub-hype. I think these guys will start in S+. They're insanely strong in the current meta. I don't see a reason to have either of them in a game. I think these guys are very much ban material right now.
I would even go as far as say Osiris is SS, but
I don't know if I go that far. SS is like
he
release
plays every
one.
role, dude, and he's just broken in every single role. He can
Well,
play
I mean,
mid and
Hercules
he's
do the
broken.
same thing. Hercules, instead of playing ADC, just plays support. So each of them have 3 roles. I mean, you could put the mid, but I don't think I would. Also, I've been thinking about this a lot. What if we start putting, and maybe this plays to what you were saying. What if we start putting characters like Hercules and Osiris mid instead of solo, and then still make them get hand? So that way they can fight for mid camps. Since solo shouldn't get hand really.
So I had this. I talked to. I think I talked about Purified with it, but like I don't know who it was, but like Bluestone Pendant, you could run different things mid because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. The only reason why you couldn't do it last meta is because the mana problems, but we'll probably do that.
So someone maybe like if Odin gets better or Hercules or Osiris.
Herc mid would
like,
be good. Yeah.
So you can definitely put Herc mid with Bluestone, and he'd have no mana problems, and then he'd be there for mid camps, punching you in the face.
So you
like,
could do like hand and Bluestone Pendant.
Bluestone.
And then you could actually do
Boots
Boots 1 there, yeah, and then Potions. And since it's so close to the lane, you could run back if you really needed to.
The only thing is that mages get shit on by warriors, so
It's true.
the
all right,
only mage I would work is Janus.
let's talk about. Let's try to go through it like kind of alphabetically. Let's go for Agni.
S.
I think he's
Definitely.
S2 right now.
Definitely yes.
TV.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so a lot of people notice how much damage Agni is doing in the current meta. Doesn't need the pen boots as much as everyone else, it seems, because his damage is so bursty as opposed to like ticks, which a lot of other characters do. Like if you think of like Aphrodite or Ra, where they're like doing small amounts of damage over a period of time. Then again, Ra does have the burst from the ult, but like Agni is just like, I hit you with Flame Wave, right? I hit you with the bombs, right? That's how his damage is done, and he can afford to go into cooldown boots and still be strong. He can go into Magi's, get that 65 damage, and still be strong. A lot of people are considering him S. Now remember, guys, the order in which these characters are placed isn't super important, just the fact that they're in that tier to begin with. A Muzenkob.
Probably B.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I was thinking B myself. He still has mana issues even with Bluestone Pendant.
He doesn't. He still has the issue of he's AMC, and you can't really stop getting ganked. You know.
Okay. On her.
B.
B, not A.
Not A.
Wow. Okay, so on her definitely getting hit. Even with the new buff, you think he's B?
His clear, he has the same issue as Apollo, where like you literally cannot clear because they stand in front of the creep wave, and
even worse with him.
no other hunter really has that besides On Her and Apollo.
Why would Apollo have that? You can't block the wave.
Because
Yeah,
he
you can't
has
block
the-
Apollos.
No, what
Well,
happened is
the damage
Fury
gets
went
lower.
to kill somebody, and he went through the Archer wave and did no damage to the person. Like he still has the same problem as On Her now.
So now he can't kill, you're saying?
Yeah, he can't. His kill potential has been lowered. I go as
Honor's
far as
even
put
worse
Apollo
because
and
you could just stop him from hitting
B
the
as
archers
well.
completely. It's really bad.
Yeah, but on her also has like the best level 5 ult of any hunter, giving him
Oh,
the
no, yeah,
entire
yeah.
early game
Hoi Yi replaces On Her.
for A tier.
Yes.
Hoi Yi
His
has
2
a
is
ridiculous
really
amount of
good.
damage. Like
His 2 is really good, and he could clear. He clears as long as you ricochet. He clears. Like, I don't know. And his ult is very disorientating and very distracting. And his zones, like his ult is for how shitty much damage he does. It's pretty good.
again, this is very early, guys, so none of this is fact. A lot of it needs testing, and what I'm going to do next is probably going to drive people crazy, but I think Anubis has A tier potential.
I agree.
This character is like very fucking strong. He has inherent penetration. It's hard to kill him now because you can't pen against him early. He kills you so fast. In late game, honestly, now it's hard to burst him down, and with the nerf to Aegis, you can't get out of his wrap without beads.
Yeah.
And he has a 2-second mummify at level 14. plus a level 3 ult. Like, you will die. You, like, absolutely will die. I honestly believe that this character is balanced right now. It might be B. He's definitely not below B.
No, he's not below B.
So maybe
Like you
maybe
said.
we could put him like here on the list, so that will move these guys down. So he's kind of like bordering the A-B range. He's usable now, like he really is.
He
Yo,
just has
Anubis!
damage. Because, like, in the CDR meta, like, you have this problem where, like, you don't kill anything, but it doesn't affect Anubis. He's still going
Right.
to kill you.
Right, because he has inherent
Anubis!
penetration. Like, the character's really strong right now. Me and actually
Much like
Sunsets were talking
Thanatos.
it. Like, well, we'll get to Thanatos. He's way down the list. Next up is Algong.
I still think he's, like, AS, and
S-
he's still really strong.
S plus.
You think he's an S plus still?
Yeah, he's still first ban.
Yeah,
He will
I
never
agree.
get through a game.
I agree. I still think he's. I think he's still completely overtuned.
I don't know
You
about
have-
S plus, maybe
You
S.
have to ban him if you're second pick.
I agree. This character is the only counter in the game right now, true counter to Hercules and Osiris. Nemesis can hurt them and can really stop them in team fights, but Alquan can kill them outright, just drop them. And
Yeah,
given the
good
fact
point.
that Aegis doesn't break CC anymore, you can't use Aegis to stop his ultimate. You can only use beads. So he actually winds up getting stronger.
He will never be allowed in a scrim or a tournament game until he's changed. So that he has to be S plus. He will never be allowed.
Next up is Aphrodite. I think this is a clean S pick for me. I think she's so fucking strong right now. She
She
doesn't
got
get
rid of
hurt.
a lot right now.
Nobody plays her.
I
So
know,
think she's
it's
good.
ridiculous. She doesn't get hurt by anything that changed in the meta. In fact, she only got better.
Well, it's because people want to still play Bakasura, and then, like, you know, you just pick Afro.
Yeah, Afro beats Baka in my opinion like 8-2. Like it's not so long as the Afro doesn't mess up in the worst way possible early on, there's no way you can kill her. Like if she buys Sprint 2, Bakasura can never kill her. He would need to buy Fist to lock her down and she could just ult out of it. Like she has an option for everything that he does. She is the perfect counter mage. Not to mention, her birds will clear safely at pretty much all levels. She will ensure that you can clear safely, meaning she's not affected by the 60-foot range anymore because she can walk away from the wave and still have a 5-second clear time. This character is so unbelievably strong in this meta. She might even be S+, honestly, but we'll need time to test. This character is insanely good. Arachne.
Like A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she's B. I don't think, you know.
Yeah, I
She's
agree.
definitely better than
She's
B.
still kind of just like that pub stomp character.
Yeah, I agree 100%. She has potential, I think, in the meta, considering the pen boots they definitely hurt her early game, but she's still very strong. Ares.
S or A.
You think S? I was gonna say
I was
It's
going to
either
say,
S or A.
like, AB rocking the
It's
border.
like it's like
A.
A.
My first
for
one
all
was
of them.
gonna be B, and then I thought about it. I thought maybe A.
See, I like the AB range, because I think he was S+ 2 weeks ago, but now he lost so much with Witchblade being useless.
Who?
I think he's good if you're not against Geb. If you're not against Geb, then he's like extremely overpowered, I think. But when you're against Geb, he's just useless.
So for
The
now,
Witchblade thing just to really hurt him, in my
That's
opinion.
it.
Which, like hovers in between
it was
A
supposed
and
to
B
be
in my mind.
5%, like not none. Like, oh my god. So I would say A then, just balanced.
Yeah.
Doesn't win every matchup, doesn't lose every matchup, like just normal
What
balance.
character?
Ares.
Ares.
Hey!
You missed it when you were gone. Ares was the best character in the game.
Hey! Remember when Ares had the old Wardstone?
Yup. First thing I thought of when I saw
The
that, I'm like, this game's
the
over.
funniest mid ever.
Artemis.
Hover between A and B.
Yeah, I was gonna put her there. I think there's a lot of potential in the character in the current meta. I think it'll need more time before we can definitively say that she's strong. But honestly, with that new buff, I think, and the fact that people can't clear anymore, that she's very, very strong.
That's why she's moved up in the list, in my opinion. Just because, like, she's one of the best endgame hunters. You just gotta get her there.
Athena, I think, easy A.
Yeah.
Wheelish.
Probably EV.
I was saying hover between S and A.
I was gonna say S and A
S.
myself.
I don't know about
I think
that.
she's a very strong jungler right now. One of
It
the, like,
depends on her team comp. Most, like, if you put her on any team, she's an A. If you put her on a team with, like, Hubwa or Vulcan, she's, like, S+.
I don't know.
Plus,
I think she's a very strong jungler.
I do
I-
too.
I just don't think you're seeing it, dude.
I don't know. I like her early game is obnoxious, but I feel like she has the same problem as Serket and Fives, where like late game you don't really have any way to do damage late game safely. You're
Her
kind of
siege
useless
is
in team
good,
fight.
is what I also like. So like even if she can't get in, she can go siege a tower real
What's
quick
this?
because she just pops ulti.
It just feels like she
It's
does
for
nothing.
my grandma.
It just feels like her and Serket do like nothing late game in team fights because they just get focused down.
My grandma sent me a fruit basket for Christmas. I mean, birthday.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Have a good Christmas, my bro. I feel like that joke's gonna last the rest of the day now. Shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grandma.
It's fucking heavy.
Bacchus.
B,
Bad,
C,
Bad.
like
B.
I don't.
bad.
I'm kind of thinking C.
I think he's the strongest.
Yeah.
I think he's like top 2 Guardians late game. The problem is he has 0 presence in the entire
His
like
lane
first.
You
is
can't
so
get him to late
bad.
game. You can't
Yeah,
anymore.
his
Without
laning
Midas
phase
boots,
is
he
so
will fall
bad.
behind. It is guaranteed.
With the first 15 minutes of the game, he is absolutely useless. But late game, he's crazy.
All right. Next up is Bakasura.
Probably A.
Yeah.
A or S. It's in the middle.
I
He's
think-
a very
I think A.
He's
I
a
think-
very popular solo pick right now.
I don't think that.
I don't think that makes him S.
makes
though.
him
I think
better.
Yeah,
It,
but
Yeah.
he plays well. I mean, he does
I
well
think
at
it's
the
just
game.
right now. It's just a comfort pick too, because people are like, it's not it's the new like chalk. Oh, I can play Blockasura.
Yeah, it's just like Bakasura doesn't really lose a lot of matchups, and realistically, he doesn't win a lot of matchups. He wins like 3, and like against relevant characters, and I would say that's like Zhang Kui and such. Like I just don't see him. Like people pick him into Hercules and shit, but honestly, Hercules wins that matchup. Like you just punish him for doing things. People are just playing it incorrectly. I think is they're too in their comfort picks for their builds. Like if Bakasura is picked, you could just pick Sprint 2 with Hercules and just counter everything he does in lane instead of buying hand or teleport.
I think that's why Blanco wins so many matchups. Is just people don't know how to play against it.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the list right now. There's a lot of gods that are going to be an A.
yeah,
Like a lot of gods.
yeah. I think we might need to increase this. Bastet.
Probably
I
A.
I
haven't
can't
seen
say.
that, but
Yeah,
probably
I don't
A.
know.
A seems good to me. I don't see a reason that she wouldn't be A.
Yeah.
She does
She's definitely
decently.
better than the B gods, and
Yeah.
I don't think she's S right now.
She
I
does a
didn't
lot
really
of
like her too
damage.
much in Hunter. I don't know how she does in jungle.
Well, I mean, jungle. I mean, cats are broken.
No,
early,
jungle.
like,
I mean complete jungle. She's definitely A.
Kabrakan.
A.
I
Or
think
S.
A. Yeah.
In solo.
He's
definitely.
crazy in solo right now.
Chalk. A seems balanced, usable. Doesn't do a
Yeah,
lot.
I go
Nah,
with
I
B.
think B.
I go down
B.
to B with chalk.
Yeah.
I got 3 B votes. All right.
Definitely
Chang'e.
B.
And
B.
Triplet.
Maybe
I go
C.
down with B as well.
Maybe
C.
C.
Yeah.
Well, chill with that. I mean, I don't see why she would be A.
She can't deal with the Warriors right now.
That's
she can't deal
true.
with Kabrakan. She can't deal with
She can't deal
Osiris.
with Osiris. Also sub hype. Fat platypus. Platypus. Blech. All right. Next up is Kronos.
Probably A or S.
Yeah, I would say S. The guy plays like every role in the game. Like he's mid, he's solo, and he's ADC. Like he's so strong, dude. Cupid S.
S probably. There is a bug with
S.
Cupid right now though. That's
Right,
hurting him.
It's still like it's a bug. It will be
Yeah.
fixed. Fenrir.
B or A.
Yeah, I think the hover
Uh,
between B and A is good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's strong, but I don't think he's like usable in every single matchup. But he definitely is better than people are giving him credit for. Freya.
I think she's, like,
really
criminally
strong
underplayed.
right now.
She is
Yeah,
so
I think
underplayed.
she's super strong right now. People just aren't.
I had her in S
Playing her.
before. I mean, or
I
maybe
don't
it
know.
was high A.
I don't know about S. I think she's probably A right now.
Nobody's
I don't-
picking her, and I still think she's good. I don't
I-
understand
No,
why.
to be
I
honest,
like her for the border for AS. I think she's still
Yeah.
insanely
Yeah.
strong. I don't understand why she's not getting played.
she didn't really get hurt by the pen nerf because she still gets spear.
Right,
And,
exactly.
Like cooldown boots aren't bad on her.
And
so
demonic grip, like she has penetration.
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I think she's probably SA.
Geb.
S.
A S.
I have him S. I think this is a pretty clear top pick.
He's S. He's S.
Guan Yu.
Probably A now, honestly. A
Yeah.
or B.
I have him in A right now, and I think that as we get better with the characters, he's gonna move up. His protection shred is like unbelievably strong. Can he build Lotus Crown? No, he can't.
It doesn't work.
No, I can't.
He can build
That'd
Shield
be-
of Regrowth though.
Is that the one where you heal yourself and you get faster?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, that's broken on her.
Hades.
Probably like C, to be
I
honest.
think
Probably
I think
B.
Hades B. Yeah.
BUC.
Divios
definitely
is
don't
playing
think
him
he's
a
that
lot,
bad right
so
now.
He thinks he's strong.
Well, Divios' Hades is like
yeah,
that's
Divios
it
is
is like-
It is
ridiculous.
Divios, but
it's Divios.
it's gonna require more testing. I still think he's a little weak compared to the cast, but I don't think he's bad as he was.
He has more uses than Bacchus. I'll
Yes,
say that.
that's for sure. Hover.
B,
A, B hover.
Yeah.
I was in between B and A.
I mean, he has his uses, and on certain comps he's a monster, but he still has the same problem of if I want to kill someone, I have to commit.
And he just gets camped too hard in the laning stage of the game. All the junglers destroy him.
Hell.
I have no idea.
C.
Some people like her, some people think she's awful. I don't know.
I think B is good. She wins certain matchups, and she doesn't get hurt by the pen nerf, considering she could have built CDR before. Warlock Sash is still in the game, very strong, so she doesn't lose a lot of her core items. The only issue is that she is very mana hungry, especially even late game, which I think hurts her.
I just feel like she has that issue with AMC. It's like, oh, you're hell. I'm going to feed off of you for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, if you're not ahead, you're just gonna eat shit. Humbots.
I think he's
That
A.
BA or
B
A.
A. I was hovering AS.
I don't know about AS.
I don't think he's
I think A
S.
would be
I
good.
think
I
he's
think
like
A
a
is good.
solid, like literally he's just A.
Okay,
He's a
so we'll
good
keep
pick
we'll
when
keep
all the
him in
other OP ones are banned.
A. ISIS.
It's weird. I don't know.
I love ISIS, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
don't
think
know.
she's B without pen boots. She can't
I don't know.
do enough damage anymore.
yeah.
Maybe if you build an early game comp around her though, she's pretty obnoxious to deal with because they just invade your jungle and then you can't do anything. Shouts to 5 AM. It's literally all they run, and that shit is really hard to deal with.
Smite hug. She can't see what I'm doing. Don't be an idiot. Janice S. Maybe S plus.
SS plus. Definitely.
Yeah, I just don't see a reason why you wouldn't pick Janice in the current meta. Like, he's so strong. He's still just as strong as he was. He doesn't need the pen boots. People were playing him without it before. Like, the character's
Check
ridiculous.
the mumble, Brandon, real quick.
I can't.
Okay.
Is it like direly important?
It's just information I need to know about like my life.
All right, can we do that in a bit?
Yeah, we'll do it whenever.
Next up is Kali. A.
A.
Yeah.
The pen boots hurt her, but she still has penetration on her passive, so not too bad. Kukulkan.
I think he's good now.
I think it's A.
Yeah.
He's usable.
Yeah.
He's balanced.
Before he was like C, now he's like actually usable.
All right, here comes a big discussion. Kumbhakarna.
I think Kumba's really good.
Yeah, I do too. I think he definitely has A potential.
He's my
Yeah.
favorite. He's my favorite guardian right now by far. But I don't know how good he really is. But he's my favorite to play.
Loki.
The pen boots really hurt him. I don't know.
Probably yes. The pen boots hurt him, but
The Aegis
power.
change helps him too.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
Aegis
know.
change is really big for him.
Well, the problem with Loki is like you can't kill them like you used to. Like you have to wait like at least another 10 minutes before you can actually kill them now, and I don't like that. So
He comes online later, but his end game is better. So I don't know how
his
you
end
can
game
like
is still
balance
the
it.
same because Titans and like you can even get a Crusher if you wanted to, but like
I think A tier is usable.
Yeah.
Hold on, I just gotta reform this a little bit so I can fit everybody in properly. Otherwise, people aren't fitting. I have to like reorganize the tier list a little bit. Whoosh. A tier. Okay. Mercury, I think, is probably the most slept on god in the game currently.
I don't think he's that strong.
think
I
he's
disagree.
Really slept on.
I think this
I think
character
he's
is
still
like
same
top.
old Mercury where he's gonna crit you for like 1,000 HP.
The pen hurts him early, but the fact that he has so much passive damage and movement speed
He
allows
still
him
has
to be
that-
better than
what's
like
it called?
everybody.
His 2 thing.
Yeah,
Like,
maximum
he still
velocity.
has. Yeah, that thing is still one of the most OP abilities in the fucking game. Like,
That and like you can't Aegis out of his shit anymore. Like you have to get beads against him, and certain characters don't want beads. Like this is really like I think at absolute worst he is A tier, and I think at best.
Oh yeah.
I think
oh, I
at
don't think
best.
he's below A.
Oh, he's
no,
definitely
not
not
at all.
below A.
I
but
think
just don't
below
think-
A.
I think he might be a hover.
between A and S.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him. He's like Freya. Like I
He
I
hasn't
said
been played
Dark
enough
Dawn's
for
name.
me to say, yeah, that's S tier. But I definitely like with the beads thing is huge.
Yeah, I think he's in the middle. I think that's pretty fair.
All right. Next up is Neith.
B, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
she just doesn't do she didn't, her problem was a hunter, she didn't do damage before, and now she doesn't really do damage. She still has the awesome ulti, like, yeah, I'm gonna help you in solo lane, but like, then in duo lane, you don't fucking kill them, because you just don't do any damage.
Yeah. I think she got hurt, obviously. I still think she's usable. I think the hunters are going to require more testing, but for right now, she just doesn't feel as strong, anywhere near as strong as Cupid or Hoi.
I would pick Hoi 10 times before I picked Neith, like...
Nemesis.
At worst, S.
Yeah, at worst.
I would say
S.
I would hover like in the middle of S plus and S.
Really? I don't know if I go
Mhm.
that far. She does lose some matchups. She can't
Yeah, I
fight
don't know.
everybody, and if she gets invaded on early, she's fucked.
That's true, but she is really really strong right now. I would say S.
I agree. S. Purified.
Nemesis?
Yeah.
Yeah, S.
Nasha. I think AB.
AB, yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the character is much stronger than he was last week or 2 weeks ago. I think the lack of pen hurt him, but not enough because he's building into Jotuns early enough, and his damage is so high at base that he doesn't really need that extra penetration, and can get it from other sources and still do a lot of damage. And I think that he's being a little slept on. I think he might move up or down as the season starts. He's definitely going to be underplayed. No pro is going to pick him up because he's just too unsafe, I think is the issue. But, I mean, just like Habwa, he has to commit to do his damage, but if he does it, you're dead. Nox.
I have no idea.
I think she's B.
Yeah, B.
Like,
Yeah, B
the
sounds about
ulti
right.
is a huge, like, I watched Puri play it, and like, the wind-up time just sucks.
I don't know, but if you get good with it, I don't know. I think it's just awkward right now. Her burst damage is still
Her
obnoxious
laning
in
phase is
teamfight.
still amazing, but like,
I don't know where I would put her honestly.
B sounds good. I mean, she's usable, but I don't know if I'd pick her in lieu of other mages.
I guess.
She might be BA, but I don't know. For now, it seems like she's more of a B. Nua.
Nuwa, it's hard to say. Nobody's been
Yeah.
playing her.
Nobody's played her.
Purified, you play her in the jungle.
In the jungle.
I think she seems like an A tier to me.
A low A tier, but yeah, probably A.
I don't think she's B. I'd still pick her over like Nox and Hell and Isis right now.
Maybe.
She has a lot of base damage and she has a lot of control. She doesn't really need the pen boots as much as other mages do. The cooldown actually will help her, but considering all of her ults get better because her ult cooldown's so long. All of her cooldowns are so long that this I think helps her. The new meta helps her a lot. And the old meta I was like getting ready to push her down to B, but I think for right now she can hover in A tier and be safe.
Yeah.
Odin I think is still C.
Really.
I don't see him getting any better in this
no,
meta.
I'd say he's probably B.
I think he's B as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
He
see
definitely
how he's gotten
he
any
has-
better.
He has uses in these cheesy early game comps where you could there's actually a reason to pick him. Like I look at C and I'm like, there's no reason to pick Bacchus right now
Okay.
in any comp. But there is a reason to pick Odin
To
in
be fair,
certain
that
comps.
the C tier is still you can pick this and it can do well with certain comps. D is kind of like don't pick this god.
I'm thinking Bacchus might be D.
So you want to move Bacchus down to D and then put Odin in C.
I definitely think Odin is a tier above Bacchus. So whatever
Yeah,
that means.
Bacchus is fucking useless.
Whatever that means, whatever it means to you, that's what it means. Like I definitely think Odin is a tier above Bacchus right now.
Okay. Poseidon I think is I think
I
A
think strong.
maybe hover S.
I think A is fair for Poseidon.
Yeah, maybe A.
I think he's SA, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
I think
I
Poseidon's
have him in
really
SA.
like Poseidon. You gotta understand, like his Kraken's up before your beads and Aegis now because of the CDR meta.
Not
So
to
he's always
mention,
gonna have
if
Kraken in the
you
team fight.
build Aegis and the jungler is like Thor or someone who can come in out of nowhere and stun you, you're getting hit. Even if you have beads, you're getting hit.
Yeah, Poseidon got really strong this meta.
I
don't know why
think
nobody's playing
that
him,
we
to be
should put
honest.
him up to the hover.
Yeah, I would hover him.
I like him in hover right now.
And he still has like his passive movement speed for rotations. Like he's still a very strong character.
I think he is probably the second most underrated character next to Mercury.
Agreed.
Ra.
BC. Like I don't know that character.
No, I don't know about C.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
That
I
was
would
That
say
character's
crazy.
kind of
I
ass.
think-
I would say AB Hover.
I think AB hover is strong for as well.
I
Purified.
do
Maybe
BC
A.
over.
Yeah, AB.
Okay. Rama.
A.
I have no idea.
I agree with A. I still think he brings a lot to the
He's
table.
balanced.
Yeah.
He's balanced, but he still brings a lot to the table.
Yeah, that ult is still very strong. He still has good wave clear. Even though it was hurt, he can still clear that wave effectively.
He just needs all 5 arrows now, which is what hurts him the most.
Sure, it sucks, and it's a lot of mana. Maybe I would like to see maybe a mana reduction on the cost. It's 25. That seems a bit much considering everyone else. But then again, he would clear a little bit too quickly with almost no downside. So it's hard to say. Scylla.
S
AS
plus
Hover,
SS.
maybe?
I think
I would-
she's still an S. I don't see a reason to put her any lower.
I would say S.
the problem I have with Scylla now is that she doesn't kill like she used to.
Early
Yeah,
shooter.
early,
Like I
but
watched
she
Fury get
wasn't
a,
doing
no,
very
no,
much.
This was endgame. I watched Fury get a
yeah.
4-man ulti, and they all walked away.
Oh,
I mean,
welcome to
that's
the
not
factor
just
then, huh?
that's not pen boots. I mean,
I
you're
know
not
it's
Yeah.
not Scylla, no, but I'm just saying like she really took a. I
No,
don't
just
know.
her early game is hurt, but her late game is still crazy.
Yeah, I really don't understand why Scylla would be anywhere below S. She just brings too much to the table. She's the only character in the game that just can go, this team fight is now over in our favor. Like, we win this team fight because I hit one ability. Like, it's crazy. She's nuts. Circuit.
I have a hard time.
If we're saying
deciding where to
ranked,
put her.
if we're saying ranked and casuals, she's like SS. If we're saying fives, I think she's like AS Hover.
AS Hover.
Yeah.
hmm She's
a
really
good
easy to
pub
focus
stomper.
down.
I
She's really
agree.
easy to focus on fives.
I
Super
agree.
pub stomp, but then in 5s you kind of just like.
And she gets
doesn't
hard countered by
bring
Gev.
much.
If you ever pick Circuit with Gev on the table, you're just useless the entire
Like,
game.
especially at the SWC, you saw it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she is. I think she's still very strong. I think a lot of players play her incorrectly, but without that early pen boots, she gets hurt. Her early game is hurt too much, and she is not an early game god. I'd say she's a mid game god, and her late game she can do a lot of damage, but it's very hard for her to initiate.
Ooh,
Fancy. Sans donated $51 saying, "Happy birthday, get yourself something nice." Thank you, Sans. I love you, dude. I think Circat is still strong, but she's going to suffer in the early game, where she was already weak. Sobek is B tier.
B, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think there even needs to be a discussion. He is quintessential B tier. He's not great. He's not bad. I think as time goes on, we might see him move up to A, as people start utilizing the ults better, considering it did get buffed. But for right now, I don't see it. Sun Wukong, I think, is either A or
A?
S.
I think
Yeah,
he's ARS. Like the protection thing is huge now because you can't shred it.
Yeah.
I think he's a definitely he's a solid A. I don't know about S because you look at the other guys in S, like those are like
Fair
priority
enough.
pix in the
You're
banning
right.
and picking
You
safe.
are
You know
right.
what I mean? Like
I was
he's
looking
strong,
at the
though.
hover, but yeah, your explanation, you're right. He's insanely good, but he does still suffer from the same things that he had before. But yeah, man, he's good. He's definitely usable, and I'd say he's usable in 2 roles too.
yeah,
I think he's A tier in solo and in support.
I agree.
Sylvanas.
B.
think
Some
C.
people
I don't
are
think
still
he's-
saying he's good. I don't know
I don't
why.
think he's dead. He still pushes the wave pretty hard.
I feel like people know something I don't know because some
Yeah,
people
I-
think
No,
he's
well,
good
what
I
still.
don't
happens is
see
he
it.
still pushes the wave pretty hard, and he still pulls you in, and you take all that damage from that. He still has really good setup in lane, and like his lane phase isn't dead, but it's not.
He just seems like
S
a
tier like it used to
Kumbhakarna
be.
with no clear now. He's all
He has
CC
clear.
except his how.
His auto's clear enough with the hunter
Yeah,
because
I
you got to
guess.
take in consideration the purple buff. You're hitting harder, so like. I don't know. He's not dead.
Dude, everyone's
I
saying
played
S
against
tier in
Jeff,
my
dude.
chat.
I
would-
played against
I would-
Jeff Sylvanas 3 games in a row, and it was not dead.
That was
Early
Jeff
game,
though.
though.
Jeff
And
could have
that's
did
Jeff
that
doing-
with fucking like Vulcan.
Yeah, I definitely say he's C.
Well, he doesn't auto
or
win the
D.
lane, which is like he doesn't auto win the lane anymore. So that's why I think he's B.
I
Alright,
wouldn't
so
put
then-
I wouldn't put him above C because I wouldn't pick.
From the vote that I'm hearing, I'm seeing CB hover.
I guess yeah, I would definitely wouldn't put him above B.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I would put him
definitely
in
don't
B.
think he's higher than B. I think the BC
No,
hover
he's
to
not
me
higher
is
than
exactly
D,
where
but
I
don't
would
think
put
he's
him.
like D, E. Like he's not dead.
No, he's definitely. I don't think he's D or E, but I definitely enough in the current meta to where you go, oh, please pick him as our 6th pick. Like,
I would pick him over
Yeah.
Bacchus. That's redemption.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
all
I
I'm
would
saying.
too.
but I would still pick like almost every other support over him, including
Yeah,
most
me
of the
too.
warriors.
Yeah.
I just don't see it for now. I'm gonna need the pros to show me something that I don't see because as of right now, I just don't see how he's viable. Sylvanas was getting shit on a lot at the tournament, like at Worlds.
He's broken. then.
And he was OP. Like people were really like characters like Nemesis and Alquang turned him into a joke.
Yeah, and
Well,
Agni
that's
as
the
well.
whole thing I was talking about Sylvanas to begin with. He has this problem where he's like Ymir and he just gets caught, and then like
He's
Ymir's not
Ymir's with
been
no
out.
escapes because Ymir can
but
wall
Ymir
himself.
can wall
like,
and shit. But like Sylvanas is like, oh, I can pull you towards me and root you and then knock you up, and I'm still dead.
yeah, I don't see it. So CB hover, yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanatos, I think is S plus.
AS. I don't know about S plus.
I think he is the absolute best jungler in the game. I think he's better than Alquang.
See, I agree with you in like casuals, but in like not competitive fives. But in competitive, I don't know how it's
See,
gonna work. But I see you
that's
do
the
that bullshit.
opposite for me. In
I see you do that.
casuals, I can see him being S like A hover, even S plus S hover. But in fives, when you're gonna have like a really good mage player and a really good jungler, like thinking about in my head what Jaco and Neil could do with Poseidon and Thanatos makes me sick to my stomach and makes me not want to play the game.
Yeah,
Like,
but you also can't do that early game bullshit where you're just like killing their whole team with heavy
yes, you
hammer.
can. That's the best part. Is he can. He heals. He does a ton of fucking damage. The enemy jungler is going to go into Bumbas every time, and he doesn't need it. Right? You don't even need hand. You could literally just walk into their jungle and fucking kill people. You will
Yeah.
control the early game so hard now because of the way that you can play him that it turns. I think it turns every other jungler into the game into a pile of fucking mush.
I definitely think he's S, but I don't know about S plus. I would definitely
I
say
agree
S.
with
though.
the S. I don't think he's S plus.
Okay, so we'll put him in S for now. It is vote. I think he is like ridiculous.
I think he, like,
I just
seeing
don't
what you
see
did with him.
What comp could you not put him on is what I'm kind of thinking.
He
Like-
still has really good like mid setup and everything, like especially because the Aegis nerf and shit like that. Like his mid ganks are amazing. Like you said, you just walk in their jungle and you take whatever the fuck you want because you can.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he's S.
Thor S.
Yeah.
I don't think he's S plus. I think the pen hurt him too much. But just like Thanatos, he has a great early game. He has great mid setups. I think he's very strong.
I think he's the second best jungler behind
Alquang?
Alquang. Yeah, still.
Thor's still the same for me. I don't think he,
Yeah, I think
really
he's,
got touched
like-
that much.
yeah.
He's still like, I'm going to fuck you. Like,
Yeah,
You
He's
still need to
Thanatos.
pick him.
I win because I have him in the early game. Like as long as you don't mess it up, like his clear is still great, right? He still has great rotation around the map. His semi-global presence is very important. Thor's huge, man.
Yeah.
Tier.
A maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
A B.
I actually am thinking hover a S, but
Really?
from what you guys
Why
are saying,
S?
it sounds like A is going to be the place to go.
I don't know. I haven't seen people really picking him, but I always thought he was not that bad.
See, I
And-
think in the current meta, he's so much stronger. The pen nerf doesn't hurt him at all. He
Yeah, it
can build
doesn't.
full tank and do as much damage as like anyone else. I think as time goes on, we will see him move up to S. But for right now, I think A is a good point because people are going to have to relearn what to do. What'll happen is he'll probably wind up in even an S plus for like 2 weeks because people are going to forget how to fight him. But he doesn't get hurt by the pen nerf. He benefits greatly from the Aegis nerf.
Yeah.
Like you will eat shit if he gets in. Like this character is very, very, very strong right now. I think it'll take a little while, similarly to Sun Wukong, to really understand how strong he is. But I think Tyr is in a great spot. Ule,
B C.
BC.
Yo.
Wow. I don't play hunters, so I'm going to defer to you on that.
I was
I
spreading as
would
Uller.
not. There's not a team comp I go where like, yeah, I want Uller here. Like,
I don't know if I disagree.
Wait, what you
GD,
said? For
you
Uller?
remember the Uller game I was spreading, and then we just lost because I was Uller?
Yeah. Wait, why? What mode
he
you put her
has
in?
no team fight presence where like you can have Cupid, Shibalanke, even Hoi Yi, and they're just like, hi, I'm here. I'm going to distract and
Hurt you
be all
a lot.
annoying and shit. And Uller's like, hi, I'm hitting your Giannis, and then he portaled away. Okay, goodbye.
And I did, a quarter of his health in 3 hits.
Yeah.
So hover BC. All right.
Damn. I didn't know it was like that.
Vamana A.
Yeah,
I don't think there even needs to be a discussion about
he's
that
still
one.
a solid pick.
Yeah,
he
does
I don't
fine.
know.
He doesn't lose matchups. He doesn't win matchups. He's
He's a
chalk.
safe pick in solo.
He's just chalk. He's another chalk. He's chalk with carry potential,
Yeah.
but he's a little bit more.
He just doesn't
squishy.
do anything in the early game. That's a problem. But I mean, he's safe.
Vulcan, I still think is S. He plays multiple roles.
Really?
Super strong. I don't see a
I
reason
think
why I
SA
wouldn't want to pick
hover,
him.
not S outright.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
I would not put him in the same
There's
tier
still,
as
I think there's
Agni
just stronger
and
picks
Scylla.
than him now because of the meta changing. So I'm not sure if I agree with the entire being S.
Yeah, I
Alright.
think he's like as strong as Poseidon right now, and not Agni and Scylla.
Yeah, he's still good mid and solo, but
Shout out
his
to Bacon.
Fucking
popping up on
only
the-
talks about Vulcan. This fucking
I
guy.
was talking this whole time, but I had my mic muted. I'm pissed.
Wait, Vulcan. Wait,
Vulcan
guys.
just pop-
can you hear
No,
me?
'cause I was seriously talking when I realized I had my mic muted. But like he's still a good mid and solo, but his ADC potential is really hurt without blue.
Okay, fair enough. Shiba Lanke.
Yes.
S.
S plus. Like
Easily-
I would
easily
even
S.
go as far as putting him in S plus. Like
I don't know if I go do all that.
I
no,
think
no, no.
he's the
You don't
best hunter.
understand what it's like to go against the Shiba Lanke who has his passive up and.
He's
Yeah.
S easily at the worst. He's
Yeah.
S.
Ymir.
Okay.
SA hover.
As
Or
a
A.
hover, I would say A.
He's better than Ares right now, in my opinion. But I don't think he's better than Geb. I definitely think he's better than Ares Athena though.
I wouldn't put him on the same level as Geb.
No, that's why I'm saying SA hover.
I don't know. I don't think he's
guess
stronger
that's
than Athena.
No?
I think he's even to Athena. I think they bring.
Yeah, I
Who the
would
fuck
say
is
they're like
typing bacon?
I muted him.
I just don't see him being any stronger than Athena. I think there are
Maybe.
more comps in which I would want Athena in the current meta.
I don't know. Like I think it's just I'm too biased towards TV's Ymir that like I'd much rather Ymir.
That's because TV's Athena is.
My Athena's not bad.
Wait, was this
Not.
character top tier? No, I don't know how to play that. Fucking Kanye life, American Kanye life. Zeus.
I think he's underrated.
Maybe like
AB Hover sounds good to me.
yeah.
That's about where I'd have him. I mean, honestly, I think he brings a lot to the table right now with like presence, like in terms of like space control. His ult really helps in team fights right now. And with the pen nerf, he does more damage than other mages now because he was already hitting harder. And now he can kill people faster, and he himself won't take as much damage early game, which is his fault. Late game, Zeus is very hard to kill. I think the Aegis nerf hurts him a little bit, but honestly, building bead sprint on this character is not a bad way to go.
No, I think people are underestimating space control.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of the reasons that Shiba Lanke and Cupid are like absurdly
And
strong
Hoi
right
Yi
now.
are really good. Because,
Yeah.
like, dude, have you ever tried to see through a Hoi Yi ult? You can't. Like, that shit's so annoying.
And then finally is Zhong Kui.
I think he's criminally underplayed.
I think he's A.
I think he's amazing in this meta.
I do
Because
too.
See,
the max CDR, dude, your
I
one
think
is
he's hovering
always up.
between A and S.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just
so
nobody plays
you
him.
guys think AS?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's
all
really
right.
strong.
Like assuming that this is going to be solo, because right, we'll talk about mid in a second. Would you pick him instead of Kabrakan?
In certain matchups, maybe, yeah.
In
And around certain
team
comps, yeah.
Yes.
All right, and then mid, I think he has a much better presence than someone like Kabrakan does.
It's just you can't run him mid against, like, a Thanatos Thor.
Right.
Like,
So that's why I think he's A. Is that I don't think he's usable on all comps right now. I think there's too many counter picks to the character, but he also
It's
does
S,
really
S
well.
is all comps. S is like you could draft it in like any comp.
S is you could pick this god.
Okay. All right, then I agree with A then. Because
Like,
he does have a lot of
Shiba
counter picks. But
Lanke,
when
Thor, Thanatos, Scylla, Nemesis, Geb, Cupid, Kronos, Aphrodite, Agni, Janus, Alquang, Osiris, Hercules. You could put them anywhere.
yeah, I see it. The thing is, when John Quay's counters aren't available, he
He's
is
broken.
really hard to deal with.
Like he just
really
runs
hard to
around
deal with.
fights doing 80,000 damage. But so many of those picks are still available, and
Yeah.
I see. I don't know if I have enough practice in the matchup, but I have never been beaten so badly in lane as when I played Zhang against Baka. Like that is
I don't
not
know,
a
like-
winnable matchup.
I think he got passively, his passive got buffed because, like, there's no pen, so it's harder to shred that. And, like, he always has his one up in the new meta, and, like, if you get ISO on that, you can't get away from him. So his team fight presence
Yeah,
is
his one's an
huge.
infinite slow if you don't two
His
it.
one is an infinite slow, then you pop four,
you
and
have
they
full
literally
CDR.
cannot get away from you, and, like, you just get shit on.
I don't know. He's really strong if his counters are on the table. He does have a lot of counters. So yeah, I'd say probably A.
Yeah, he's balanced. You can't pick him all the time, but when you do, he'll do well if you can play it well. All right, so this looks pretty good.
This is like a pre tier list for the patch, pretty much. We've only had a couple days of this so far.
I honestly don't think much is gonna get changed.
Yeah, most likely not much is gonna get changed.
Now, for those of you who might not have caught the beginning, how this works is S+, it'll read it over here. Ignore the words in this area because this has to be completely rewritten. This is still very, very relevant. With that, I would say, yeah, Bacchus just doesn't have a place to be picked. He really doesn't. Odin, I think, can work on certain comps, but generally speaking is still pretty weak. Sylvanas and Uller, I think, would be next up. As you can see, they're not quite in B or C. They're kind of hovering in between. That means they're hard to place right now in between the two tiers. And again, this is still very early. A lot can change. B tier looks pretty solid. Then you see the hover once again in between A and B. We think that characters like Fenrir and Anubis can bring a lot to the table, but still have some pretty glaring flaws that would put them closer to B tier in certain situations. So they are still usable, but be wary. Everyone in A tier, I think, is pretty balanced. Owilish, Freya, Vulcan, Humbots, Serket, Mercury, and Poseidon all have the hover of A and S. They have the makings of a top tier. They also have the shortcomings of certain balances, some balance issues in certain matchups. Will take a lot of testing before we can place them accurately. And then the S plus and S gods are all quintessential. These are the picks that you want to get. These are your really, really strong gods. Hercules and Osiris right now run the solo lane, guaranteed. Like, they're absurd. Alquang, Janus, still both very strong in their roles. And then the S, they pretty much have either one, maybe two, or no bad matchups whatsoever. I mean, they just do great things. So, yeah. Boop. That'll go there. This will go here. And then we'll switch you and Kabrakan. And then we'll move you down and move Poseidon over, and that is your tier list for this round. Now again, a lot of this is speculative. Things change very, very quickly, so it's possible that any one of these characters could wind up moving 5 or 6 tiers in the other direction, unless they're in A, because then they can't move that many. It's not possible. Can't move 6 times. But there is a lot of potential. Something I always like to point back to is Super Smash Bros. Melee has had a tier list, and for the first, I would say, 10 years of the game's real competitive lifespan, it was Fox, Falco, Sheik, Marth, Peach, right? That was just how it went. And actually, Falco might have been a little bit lower for a big amount of that time until PC Chris and Bomb Soldier really showed what Falco could do. He moved up a little bit, moved down, and then more people came on the scene like Mango and started using him. Falco went to the top tier, the very tippy top, where it was just Fox and Falco, and Peach was considered top 5. Now the only true Peach main in the world that can really take the character and win tournaments with it is saying that Peach isn't good enough. She might move down. Sheik wound up outside the top 5 for some tier list, even though she was the best character in the game for a long time. I mean, the game is 15 years old. Nothing changes. It doesn't get patched. There's no nerfs or buffs. Very few stages are added or taken off these days. It's just certain characters are being utilized better. Players' tech skill is always getting better. And in MOBAs, we really don't have that luxury of time. If something is overpowered, people stop playing the game. Or, sometimes it needs to be nerfed. Like, for instance, Hercules, there might be like 4 or 5 counters that we don't know about because we don't put enough time into studying the matchup as much as we should. But with how much developers nerf in MOBAs, and this includes, Hi-Rez, includes Riot, Valve, it's hard for us to really gain all of that matchup knowledge effectively. So know that things can change. I think the most notable change that has happened in Smite recently was the fact that Vulcan got very little changes over the course of a year and went from what was like very close to the bottom of everyone's tier list to at some points first pick, first ban. I mean, that kind of stuff will happen as players become more acclimated to playing the character effectively. So make sure that when you're seeing a tier list that you're understanding why characters are strong. That's very important. This tier list is based on the current meta, and why a few people could probably move down 1 tier or up half tier, things like that. Generally speaking, they are where they belong in the current meta. The meta will always change. That is very important. but this will serve to you as a guideline. You might think Thanatos isn't that strong, right? Because you could do this, 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 and this, right? But for the reasons that we have put him there, if you want to be the one to change the meta, you have to understand why he is currently very strong and how you can still abuse him considering he wasn't an A tier or higher character in the previous meta. So it's definitely 100% up to you to try to figure out how to break the character or remove him from the meta, or her if it's Sirket, because I would really like to see her go. All right, that's it. Put Humbots back in the A tier. You moved him. Where did I put him? He's gone. No, did I have him in A? Oh, I didn't have. Oh, he wasn't supposed to be AS. Oop, sorry about that. All right, so this is the tier list. AS hover, BA hover, BC hover. There's no S plus hovers, so this is pretty much it. Again, ignore all of these words. This has to be rewritten. This on the right side here still matters, and I can't hover over that because it's apparently a picture. So yeah, cool. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did that.